What is going on, y'all beautiful people, man? It is very bright out here, so I hope you guys can see me today. Hope you are doing amazing today, having a very Merry Christmas Eve. In this video, we are going to be talking about being able to be more conscious of where we are with God, of being in the presence of God, and being conscious of the times where our mind is going to take us out. So funnily enough, I am outside. I am very much outside here. We are like in the middle of the road almost. And I'm sitting here and I'm like trying to make this video. And I start like feeling like, oh, somebody's gonna see me with this camera out here and they're gonna come jump me and take my camera. And I start not wanting to make the video because of that. Or I start thinking like, I don't know, I'm gonna be out here and I'm gonna be in the middle. Everybody's gonna see me recording this video. How is that gonna be? It's just like, it's funny, but you know, I'm so glad that I've started to get more conscious of where I am in God's presence, because now I know that that's okay to feel that, but also trying to make sure that I place myself in God's presence and trust in the Lord, and knowing that I can be joyful in the Lord. You know, you might be a little bit tired or whatever, but this is so important for every single one of us. You know, there's going to be times where we are not conscious of the fact that we're not trusting the Lord. You know, the times where we're upset and angry, or where we're kind of like fearful and stuff like that, that's living from a place of fear that is separating us from God. And I'm reading the book called The Power of Now, and it really just talks about being able to get conscious of those things that we have. Like, we got a car coming right here, and of course my mind's gonna be like, oh shoot, there's a car right there. What is it gonna be? They could like literally turn right here and they could shoot me in the head, whatever it might be. But being able to consciously know that we can have those thoughts, but still placing our awareness in God, having God in the background, and always running constantly so that we can always have Him there. That is so amazing. Now, if you're doing something today and you're feeling a little bit fearful, you're feeling a little bit whatever, I hope that you're able to place God into your awareness, even though you have those thoughts. Now, here's the thing. Here's something that I learned yesterday too, that I kind of thought of, and this might work for you, this might not work for you, because there's this game called Call of Duty, and in this game called Call of Duty, you have this little mini map on the top left part of your screen, and in that mini map, you're always going to be able to look at it to be able to see kind of where your teammates are, where you need to go, where the enemies might be and stuff like that. And for somebody that is first coming up and starting, it's so hard to look at that mini map and to be aware of it constantly. Like, to constantly be aware of that mini map, because you have all this going on. You're like, you got people coming up to you trying to kill you, you got all these problems you got to deal with, and it's just so much mental bandwidth that you can't really focus on it all the time. But the best of the best, the professional players, can constantly, because they've been trained to do it so much, they can constantly look at that minimap over and over and over again and constantly go back to it and put their awareness towards it without even really thinking about it now. They're subconscious with it because they know exactly, it's going to lead them exactly where they need to go. They have full trust in it, and they have the awareness of it throughout the entire game, throughout the entire match, whatever it might be. So that is something that we can do with God. We don't have to always be consciously thinking about God, but we can literally put Him into our awareness, and just like that mini map, we can constantly look at Him over and over and over again, and know the better that we get at that, the more subconscious it gets, and all of a sudden you can focus on the main thing that you got going on in the screen, which is what you're doing in your life, whether you are cooking dishes, freaking washing dishes, whether you're going through some problems that you're dealing with, or you're having something that you're having a hard time trusting. You can go and deal with that stuff, and you can still have the awareness of God constantly working, constantly pinging you towards God. Even when you get a little bit upset or something's happening, you can ping yourself so fast to God. Boom, 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 boom. You just get so aware of it. When the beginners, they hardly even look at it. They can't. They don't know to look at it. They don't know how valuable it is. But the better we get at knowing that God is valuable, that God is going to lead us through every situation, that He's going to bring us into the presence of Him, the peace, the joy, the hope, despite any of our circumstances, despite anything we got going on, even if it's the small stuff, even if I'm here, sitting here, or if I'm looking at this little, like I always talk about, these leaves, if I'm looking at this leaf right here, I can be in awareness of the joy of the Lord in this, and the peace of the Lord and the love of the Lord. So let's try to do that today. Hope you guys having a Merry Christmas Eve. Let me know what you got for Christmas Eve down in the comments below, or whenever you open your gifts down in the comments below. Love you guys. Peace.